Mrs. Conrad came up with an idea through RandomKid, and since we had studied about water and human bodies, we decided to start selling water.
I saw my kids change. I saw them evolve. You know, when I first announced the project, they kind of were like, okay, you know, they were 9 or 10. Okay, it sounds great. And I don't think they really understood, you know, what it meant when I told them the statistic every 15 seconds a child under the age of 5 dies of a water-related illness. They constantly kept looking at the clock, and they couldn't believe that 2 children had just died when I talked about it. And I think as we went on and on, they started to realize more and more the effect that they could have and that they were going to have on people. And it became a reality. And they realized, wow, this is really important stuff.
Yeah, hey, let's sell water and raise money so that other people can have water. And they started a project. And then out in California, there's another school called Portola Elementary. And Portola also heard about Play Pump. And they wrote a book about it. And we're going to leave this here as a gift to you. It's called Water for Life. And these children read a lot about parts of the world that needed water. And they were very interested in Africa. And they wrote this lovely book. And in it, towards the end, you'll see that the community gets a play pump, and there's children playing on the play pump, and it changed their world.
What we call all day.
And so they wanted to do something more, and they found out about what RandomKid was doing, so they started selling bottled water. And the really neat thing, I don't know about you kids here in Africa, but sometimes the kids back home, they think, well, I'm just a kid. What can I do? I just live in a small town. I don't have the power to change anything. But then an amazing thing happened. We said, yes, you do. You have the power. And they started to think about, well, how could we do this? And they thought of different ways that they could create a label, and they created a brand name. In this case, it was Water for Life. In Kate's school class, they called it Water for Water, and they used the number 4 because there were 4 really awesome kids at the center of it at Kate's school. And then in Des Moines, Iowa, kind of right in the middle of the U.S., in kind of a farm community, there were children who also started a water project, and they created their own label. And in a little bit, I'll give you the opportunity to look at some of the bottles of water that they sold. And the really neat thing is everybody around these communities just totally rallied. Kate said she hardly even had to do anything. When she said, this is what we're doing, people were buying it by the caseload.
And it changed me because I started caring about other people and what they were doing and how it was to live like them. So I cared about what I wanted. I wanted to start changing their lives by giving them something.
What did you think when you saw how they celebrated water?
I thought it was really cool and it was real, and it just meant a lot because they don't really have clean, safe drinking water for themselves, and now they do. So it was really exciting for me and them.
We started this project at the end of the year in April, I want to say, and it just, everybody was so excited.
So we encompass so many of our academic skills, but again, it doesn't really do us a lot of good to have those skills unless we know how to use them for good, and this really allowed us to do that.
We don't have that much, but we want to give as much as we can to the people that really have nothing. And I just think these lessons, you can't teach them from any textbook. There is no textbook that can teach these lessons.
We have a poster in our room of pencils. Some of them are taller and another one that's shorter. And it says, surround yourself with who you want to be. I think it's just effervescent to surround yourself with people whom you would like to be like, and you can learn from and grow from each other. And RandomKid also allowed us to connect with schools across the country. That was very meaningful for my students. They had pen pals in California, for example, and they were so excited to learn their own pen pal's name and to know that there's somebody else doing this just like us, but they called their water Water for Life, and isn't this fun, and we can talk about them and we can communicate with them, and that made it even more exciting.
Without RandomKid, quite plain and simple, we would not be here. We would not be doing this project at all. As a teacher, and any teacher out there knows, we are so bogged down. We've got tests and this and that and this and that. And at the end of the day, you get so tired. I know I wouldn't have done this on my own. RandomKid was fantastic.
I think that it's important to know that if you do this, you're not alone. If you go to randomkid.org, you can find connections with people who will help you and give you advice along the way.
I'm still here to hear this one because just in this short time that we've been talking and watching this video, roughly 120 children have died because they didn't have clean, safe water that we take for granted so often. But the good news is there are now 700 children who are safe because of you guys, and I think that's awesome. So let's give everybody a round of applause. And the other thing that's so exciting is that you guys are so truly passionate about what you're doing, and so are the kids in California, and so are the kids in Connecticut, that I know this is just going to spread like wildfire. And very soon we're going to be celebrating another 700 kids, and another 700 kids, and 2,500 people here and there. And I know this is going to grow huge because of you guys.
This is the kind of fundraiser, they will never forget this. This is something they'll carry on for the rest of their lives. I'm positive of it.
I think this day has been one of the best days of my life.
Tell me about that. Why?
Because it's just the knowledge of knowing that I've helped the world, and I think they should do it because if there are more and more people doing it, they can help the world faster.
I do think that other people should join in because it's for a really good cause and you feel really, really good that you did this and you're like, wow, I did this. That's just amazing.